There's a truth most of us avoid. The world will never bend to our desires. We dream that people will treat us fairly, fortune will stay on our side, and our bodies will remain strong. But reality is harsher. Friends betray, fortune turns, health fades, and still we live as if control is ours. Epictetus broke that illusion. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. Events are neutral. It's our judgment that makes them unbearable. The real battlefield isn't outside, it's within. Armies may rise, storms may rage, fortunes may vanish, but freedom or slavery is decided in the mind. Master it, and nothing else is needed. Fail, and no wealth or comfort will save you. That's why the Stoics gave us rules, not hollow phrases, but weapons forged in slavery, exile, and war. Live them, and you'll become untouchable. They won't hand you magic, but something greater. Alignment with reality. And when you stop chasing the world begins to come to you. 1. Control what you can, release what you can't. Epictetus was born into slavery. He had chains on his body, and yet he declared himself free, because no man could chain his mind. That's the essence of Stoicism. Your power is internal. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, lived in a palace and commanded armies, yet he wrote in his journals the same lesson. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about that. A slave and an emperor, both facing opposite extremes of fortune, both saying the same thing. We only own our reasoned choices. Everything else is outside our control. When you finally let go of the obsession to bend reality to your will, you gain a deeper power, composure. That's when you stop being a puppet pulled by fortune's strings. 2. Desire less, gain more. We think manifesting means attracting more money, more recognition, more pleasure. But the Stoics turned the idea upside down. The richest man is the one who has trained himself to need little. Look at Alexander the Great. He conquered nations but died unsatisfied, asking to be buried with his hands open so the world would see he carried nothing out of life. Contrast him with Diogenes, the philosopher who lived in a barrel, owning almost nothing. Alexander once told him, "Ask of me anything." Diogenes replied, "Step aside, you're blocking the sun." Who was richer? When we cut away endless craving, we see abundance in what's already here. Desire less, and suddenly you already have more. 3. Turn suffering into strength. Pain is not the enemy, it's the teacher. Epictetus walked with the limp because his master twisted his leg until it broke. Instead of collapsing into despair, he built a philosophy that turned slavery into wisdom. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, betrayal, and wrote every night about patience, discipline, and kindness. Seneca was exiled, stripped of power, forced into suicide, yet his letters glow with calm instruction. We suffer. The only question is, will it break us, or will we forge it into something? The Stoic never wastes suffering. Every hardship is fuel. Every pain is training. You don't get to choose your trials, but you get to choose what they make of you. 4. Live as if fortune is already gone. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They rehearsed loss in their minds, death of loved ones, loss of wealth, sudden exile, not to wallow but to prepare. Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." When you've already envisioned loss, you can face it with steady eyes. The modern mind avoids these thoughts, thinking it's negative. But the truth is, imagining loss makes us more grateful for what we still have. You appreciate your child more when you know they could be gone tomorrow. You enjoy the food more when you remember it could be your last meal. By rehearsing death, poverty, or failure, we rob them of their power. When fortune eventually takes what it always does, we will already have made peace with her theft. 5. Speak less, do more. We live in an age of noise. Everyone has a platform. Everyone wants to be heard. But words without action are air. The Stoics valued silence because silence preserves dignity. Restraint signals strength. When you say less, people listen more. When you do more, words become unnecessary. The Stoic rule is this: don't declare your values, embody them. Don't preach resilience, live it. Don't claim strength, prove it through action. In the end, silence often screams louder than speeches. 6. Remember death every day. This is the heartbeat of Stoicism. Memento mori, remember death. Not to paralyze us, but to sharpen us. When you live with death at your shoulder, procrastination dies. Fear loses its grip. The petty anxieties that dominate our days shrink when measured against eternity. Think of a soldier who knows he may not survive tomorrow. His appreciation of today is magnified. His courage in battle grows, because hesitation could cost him his last moments. Death awareness doesn't weaken life, it intensifies it. 7. Master yourself before you try to master others. A man who conquers nations but can't govern his rage is still a slave. A man who rules cities but is ruled by lust, greed, or fear is no ruler at all. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to himself." To manifest strength, influence, or peace, mastery must begin inward. That means training our impulses, questioning our reactions, delaying gratification. No external achievement will save a man who hasn't won this inner war. 8. Align with nature, not against it. For the Stoics, nature meant more than rivers and trees. It meant the order of the cosmos, the flow of reason itself. We suffer when we demand that reality change for us. We curse the cold, though winter is inevitable. We resent betrayal, though human weakness is ancient. We deny death, though it has never spared a single person. To align with nature is to see reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. When the river floods, you don't command it to retreat. You adapt, or you drown. The Stoic accepts the flow of events, then chooses the most rational response. That's where peace lives. 9. Choose virtue over vanity. The Stoics divided life into two categories: things within our control and things beyond it. Virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, temperance was within. Wealth, status, fame, those were indifferents. The mistake of most lives is chasing the indifferent as if it were essential. But vanity always collapses. The mansion rots, the applause fades, the beauty withers. What remains is character. Seneca told us, "It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness." And greatness in Stoicism is never about fame. It's about living with integrity, even when no one is watching. 10. Stand ready for the end, unafraid. Death is the last chain. As long as we fear it, we will compromise, submit, live half lives. But once you stare it down, everything opens up. You stop wasting time. You stop living for the approval of others. You act boldly because nothing can truly be taken from you anymore. This readiness doesn't mean despair. It means freedom. And in that freedom, every moment of life becomes infinitely more alive. Think about this. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, sat alone in his tent during war, writing not about conquest, not about legacy, but about humility, death, and the fleeting nature of power. His words survived 2,000 years, not because they were meant for others, but because they were written to himself as reminders of what truly matters. We are fragile, we are mortal. And yet, when our minds are trained, when we live by these 10 rules, we become unshakable. So if you want everything, if you want peace, strength, freedom, stop chasing. Master yourself. Live with discipline, courage, and clarity. Do that, and you'll discover the strange paradox of Stoicism. When you stop begging life for more, life gives you more than you ever imagined.